Hello, and welcome to day one of my brand new free masterclass, Become Extraordinary. In this masterclass, we are going to be turning this book, bringing. I'm going to stay with bringing this book to life. I'm so excited. How beautiful is this book? Oh, I can see a Sarah bubble. If you are jumping on live, say hello. Hi Lisa, happy Saturday to you also. Just showing some of the pages inside my book, Become Extraordinary. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. That is the inspiration behind this five-day free masterclass, bringing this book to life. If you do have the book, we're going to go even deeper. Thank you, Lisa. I love my book too. If you do not have the book, don't worry. It's all good. It's not required. Okay, it's not required. You're still going to find this masterclass of great value, because I'm not just going to assume that you've read the book. So it's all good. Lisa says constant work in progress. Oh, me too. Me too. Because we choose to though, right? Because we choose to. And this is a really great segue into something I was going to say today anyway, which is thank you for being here. Thank you for committing to you. Because that's what my clients do. My clients understand they are their greatest investment. You are your greatest investment. It's not the things we're led to believe. We're the people who create those things. We're the people who bring those things into our reality. It all starts with us. We're our greatest investment. Lisa says it is an absolute choice. It is, and you've chosen to be here today. I'm really excited about this masterclass. It's been 11 years in the making. When you think about it, 11 years in the making. And this will unfold, this will become apparent as I move into my story and the rest of the 4 days of the masterclass. My mind's jumping ahead of my mouth, which it often does if you've worked with me before. Sometimes my mind's going too fast with my mouth and I have to slow it down, slowing down to speed up. So a little bit of housekeeping. How this is going to unfold over the next 4 days, today and the next 4 days. I will be jumping here live. So the masterclasses will be recorded here live in this private Facebook group. They are then going to be, afterwards, they will be uploaded into YouTube. So those of you who are watching this on the replay, those of you who joined that are not on Facebook, do not have a desire to be on Facebook, I completely respect your choice. That is why we then upload these recordings into YouTube, and you're going to be sent an email with a link to the YouTube video. Or if you want to skip ahead or you want to be prepared, just go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you will know as soon as they're uploaded, because if you have your notifications turned on, you'll be advised. The reason I like YouTube is because you can turn on subtitles. Some of these calls might be long. If you think, oh, she was talking about that thing and I just want to go back and re-watch that thing, that part, you can click on subtitles in YouTube and you'll be able to just find the timing, like the exact time when I said the thing that you want to rehear, rewatch, and you can go straight there. So that's why I love YouTube. And you can also turn on other languages if you want to turn on other languages. And it's very easy to watch, to fast forward and rewind in YouTube as well, because they're the experts at video, right? So they've got it all going on. So that's how this will work. So you can either come in here live. Of course, you can also watch the recording in here live later. So you don't have to go onto YouTube. We're not removing it from this group. we'll probably move it into the video section or the guide section, so it will sit here. So you can watch the replay in here in the group also. It's just really preference, your choice, however you like to do it. The other thing I wanted to tell you before we begin is there has been a change of time to next Tuesday's live. The original email you received, those who registered through Podia, it said 10 a.m. next Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's actually being moved to 7 p.m. next Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So a little bit of a change of time. Just next Tuesday, all the other dates and times remain exactly the same. I'm so grateful, lucky, fortunate, and humbled that I have had people working with me, or people in my community, or people in my world through Sky High Coaching for many, many, many years now. So grateful for that. Thank you so much. If that is you, thank you so much. If that is you, you may have heard some of my stories before. If you've already read the book, because we are bringing the book to life, we are going more deeply than the book. However, some of these activities and exercises and homework are going to be straight from the book. You've read it before. You are different. As Lisa said, constant work in progress. We are not the people we were last year. We're not the people we were last month. We're not the people we were last week. We're actually not the people we were yesterday. We've evolved. We've changed. We've greatly expanded into something new, or there's been a subtle shift, a subtle change. Human beings grow and evolve over time. My request is listen in a different way. Listen for something different. Listen for a new insight. If you're brand new to my world, thank you so much. If this is the very first masterclass you've ever attended, this is the very first time you've had an experience with me in this capacity, welcome, welcome. We're so happy you're here, and thank you for being here. Again, listen for insight. You are not required to agree with me to get extreme value from this masterclass. You don't have to agree with me. You are intelligent. You are powerful. You're empowered. You've already created a wonderful life. You already have things in your life that light you up and bring you immense joy, that you look at and you think, my gosh, I did that. Huge achievements, huge accomplishments. You don't have to agree with me. Listen for insight, not agreement. Oh, okay, she's saying this. Now, actually, yep, that's me. That is me. I absolutely agree with what she's saying. I am there, or I've been there, or I get this. Yes, Jill, we're like this. Yes, 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 right? You'll have those moments. But you may also have the moments of, okay, I don't know if I can really relate. I don't know if this is ringing true for me, but something else is dropping in, or something else is coming up. Write that down. If something else is coming up, something else is dropping in, write that down. If I say something you love, write that down. If there's something you want to remember later on, write that down. You're here, you've invested the time. Be present. Be present, be here. If you're going to be here, be present. Actually be here. And your mind will try and distract you away. It's a distraction machine. The more you can stay immersed, the more you can keep writing notes, think. Okay, all right, this is, yep, okay, don't agree with that, do agree with that, yep, that's a little bit of a nugget. This is how I'll use it. You know, I used it that way. I'm going to use it a different way. Feel into it. Feel into what feels aligned to you, what feels good to you, what feels right to you, what may feel a little challenging to you. Oh, that feels a little challenging. I might need a little bit of courage for that. Good. That may mean doing something different, new or bolder than ever before. Good. Also note that down. The other part of this is it's not just a note-taking program. This is an integration program. I'm going to be giving you home play at the end of each call. Do it. I strongly encourage you to do it. There's no evolving, there's no transformation, there's no change without integration, doing something differently, making a change, trialing something. The other thing I stand behind really powerfully and with authenticity, I was going to make up a word, authentically, with authenticity is I never, ever, ever, ever ask a client to do something I haven't done myself. And I stand behind that 100%. Every activity, every exercise, every piece of homework I have personally, and this whole book is my story. That's what we're here to talk about today. So I've done all the activities and the exercises, and I've shared them with clients over the years, and they've had great success with them as well. So I'm also not going to be throwing something out there that hasn't been trialed, tested, and shown to be a success. There was something else I was going to say, and it's just flown out the window, and it'll drop back in a moment. Yes, it just has. Thank you, subconscious mind. So, little bit of a funny story before we really kick off is I have literally just been in class. So at 7 a.m. this morning, I was in a class with my mentor, so a group that I'm part of. And the topic today, the conversation today, 7 a.m. because she's on the other side of the world. The topic today was social media. And what has become apparent is more and more and more people, because she's done some research and we talked about it in the group, more and more people are saying they want more authenticity on social media. More authenticity. They actually want to hear people like me, people who are delivering the work that I deliver, people who run businesses as I run. They want to know my story, our stories. Don't just show me the shiny photos of where you are now. I want to know the ins and outs of how you got there. And I thought, oh, well, isn't that fitting? Because at midday today, I'm going to be doing exactly that. I'm going to be kicking off a masterclass that does exactly that. So I wanted to share that with you. I found that a little amusing. This is a conversation. So I want this to be a conversation. My desire is this is a conversation. Please comment. Please ask questions if you're here live. Let me know. Let me know you've got something to say. Ask if you're watching back on the replay. If you're watching back on the replay, hashtag replay, ask your question, give us your comment, give us your insight. This is a conversation. We're all here to learn. We're all here to grow. We're all here to evolve. We're all here to become more empowered. We're all here to become more powerful. We're all here to create extraordinary lives for ourselves, extraordinary happiness for ourselves. And we do that with each other. The power of a group. There's such a power in bringing like-minded people together. It is so magical, and the magic is something to behold. It takes all of us to create the magic. So if you want to feel that magic, let's have a conversation. Come into the conversation. My wish for you is that you wake up every day in awe of your life. My wish for you is that you wake up every day and have to pinch yourself that this is your life. My wish for you is your life is so extraordinary that you don't really know how you did it. There's a really cool saying. We'll wonder how to do it until we wonder how we did it. And I have moments throughout my life where I sit down and I wonder how I did it. I used to wonder how I'll do it. So my life continues to up level. My life continues to become more extraordinary. Does this mean that nothing ever challenging, nothing challenging ever happens to me? Absolutely not. Does this mean I'm never sad? Absolutely not. Does this mean I'm never misunderstood by a friend or my husband and I have to go into a courageous conversation? Absolutely not. Does this mean I don't have to create or build more resilience because my life's just so easy and fancy free? Absolutely not. Extraordinary happiness is navigating those moments and navigating those situations and knowing how to do that. This today and the next 4 days, I'm going to take you on my adventure of how I went from, I'm going to call it desperately unhappy. I don't know what the bottom level was of the research because I don't know. I was just sent an email saying I was extraordinarily happy, but I know I wasn't. So the story is this 5 days is about how I went from desperately unhappy, broken, in the dark, to extraordinarily happy. Top 6% happiest people in the world. Top 6%. Yeah, apparently it's a thing, right? If you want to know more about the study, I'm happy to talk about the study, but in the, because we only have a limited amount of time, I'm not going to waste your time with that unless you want to hear about it. But this is the story. Now, there's all these levels in between, and this is something I really want you to grasp and embrace, is you don't have to be desperately unhappy. That my clients aren't. They're powerful. They're already extraordinary. They're empowered. They've got it going on. They're intelligent. They're resourceful. They're accomplished. They're doing amazing things in the world. And some of them most of them are really, really funny. In fact, if I think about it, all of them are really, really funny. Which just makes it all more fun, right? So I continue, these are the tools and techniques I used to find the door out of the darkness, right? But I continue to use these tools and techniques as my life becomes more and more and more extraordinary. I'm moving house, for those of you who are not aware. I'm about to step into my next dream. Dream number 3,652, I don't know. Like, pinch yourself. And then there'll be another one after that, right? We continue to move forward. As Lisa says, constant work in progress, and it's a choice, but it's a choice. And thank you, Lisa, for reminding me, it's a choice. You've chosen to be here. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Right, let's go. I can see someone else has jumped on. Say hi. I can't see who's here unless you say hi all the time. Sometimes I can. Okay. Let's begin. I haven't told this story for a while. Sido, hi! One dream a day for 10 years of dream. 3,652. Oh, I love you. Oh my gosh, I love my clients so much. Okay, so in 2011, very beginning of 2011, I was living pretty good life. I did love my job. I loved my job. I loved my career. I loved my team. I loved where I worked. I loved what I did. I was in the sport industry. And at this point, I was leading the sport and recreation department of one of the biggest universities in Australia. So helping. Yeah, you're packing too, Sido, right? because she's just stepped into her next big dream. So we were helping students, alumni and staff be healthy, active, join clubs, You know, I don't need to go into that, but I loved my job. So job's good. And I was in a relationship that wasn't great, a romantic relationship, and I was navigating my way through it, and I was trying to work out whether I would stay or go, or, you know, it would be ups and downs, good, then not good, good, then not good. But I really didn't have much to compare it to, because those of you who know my story know that love, the arena of love, the area of love was something that I struggled with for a really long time, or just couldn't nail, right? But I thought, well, I don't really have anything to compare it to, and I'm 41 years old at this time, and I fell pregnant. So I'm 41, I'm in this relationship that has some good moments, but sometimes really, really bad moments, and like really bad. And I don't want to go too much into the relationship, and I just paused then for a second thinking, how far do I go? Because it was toxic and unhealthy. I knew it at the time, but I couldn't see a way out. And honestly, thinking back, I probably thought it was me and my fault. So I've come a long way since then. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to honor him as a human, as a human being, as a person. And he clearly had his own things he needed to sort out in his life. And I really hope that he has. I hope he has sorted those things. I hope that light is reflecting off my glasses. Sorry if that's annoying. I hope he has sorted those things out. I'm not in touch. We're not in touch. And he's got his own life adventure. Okay. But it was not good, shall we just say. Fell pregnant and thought, okay, 41. And I desperately, over the years, I desperately wanted to have a child. Desperately. So that was a wish coming true. That was a dream coming true. I'm going to have this baby, and, you know, then we'll sort the relationship out and it'll all be okay. The relationship got worse because we couldn't agree on the way to move forward together as parents. And the relationship, he was very controlling, and the relationship actually became more toxic, more controlling, more emotionally controlling for me. And one day I was at work, I was in about we were due nearly just a couple of days off the 12-week scan, and I started bleeding. Now, if you've had a miscarriage, I'm just going to warn you, that's what I'm about to talk about, but I'm here with you. We're here together. You're okay. We're here together, because this happens to a lot of couples, a lot of us, right? So I'm with you. If you need to jump off for 5 minutes and jump back on, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, just warning, a little bit of a warning. So I've got you, you're okay. So, and I remember being at work, and I jumped, and I worked in the middle of the CBD, middle of Melbourne City, but my doctor was not very far away, and I jumped in a work car. Like, I literally ran up to the woman who ran the carpool. I need keys now. I was in turmoil. She just gave them. She was a friend of mine. She just gave them to me. She's like, I'll fill the form out. It's okay, right? And I ran out the door and took off in the car to get to my doctor. Heart beating so fast, fearful, afraid, like so afraid, in a panic. My whole central nervous system in overdrive. And I got stuck in traffic, and I literally abandoned the vehicle. Like, I just pulled over, because I thought, you know what I thought? I can run faster from here. Like, I can run faster than this from here. This is the panic I was in. Emotions are high, intelligent thinking is low, right? So I abandoned the vehicle on the side of the road. I go running up this street, and I get to the doctor, and they see me straight away because I'm in turmoil, right? And getting emotional. Sorry. my little soul had decided not to be here. Oh, sorry. Okay. And anyway, so my little soul had decided not to be here anymore. And okay. And I haven't got any tissues. He navigated my way through that, healed through that. And then about 2 weeks later, my mum was diagnosed with lung cancer, who never smoked in her life. So, sorry. So it was a huge shock. And 2 weeks later, huge shock, we started being incurable, and we were told that we'd have about a year, and we started putting plans in place for this year, the last year of my mum's life. And about 2 weeks later, she was in hospital they were trying something out in her lungs, and they had to put her in a coma. They wanted some stitches they wanted her to not move, long story short. And if I talk too much about it, you might lose me. I might turn into a wet mess. So they put her in a coma, and she never came out of the coma. So about a week later, they said, look, we think, and it's funny because we were visiting her every day, and a couple of days before they said, look, we think we need to switch everything off, I knew she was gone. So even though I'm sitting, oh, thank you, Lisa. So even though I'm sitting by her bedside every day, I remember it was a Thursday, and I remember thinking, she's gone. The machines were still beeping, but there was the essence, the energy, the essence had gone, the spirit had gone. So and it was interesting that day, she almost tried to communicate with my dad, which was so beautiful. And while she's in a coma, was trying to, when my dad was talking to her, she started moving and trying to lift her head up, and it was beautiful for him. Anyway, so we bury my mum, and then my relationship is getting worse. This is in the space of a few weeks. Then my relationship's growing worse and worse, and now I realize that my mum can see, because the extent of how terrible this relationship was and how emotionally damaging it was to me, I hid from the world. And it was funny because some of you in this group actually were my friends then and were with me through all of this. So if that is you, thank you. Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you, because I had extraordinary support from my friends who were some in this group. So thank you so much. And even friends, I led myself out of the relationship, because I thought, now my mum can see this, and she's up there looking down thinking, you weren't raised this way to put up with this. What are you doing? Like this, you're being treated so badly, and why are you still there? What are you doing? And so, but I'm grieving, right? So I'm grieving my baby, and I'm grieving my mum. And it was just the energy, so I needed the energy I needed. And eventually I gave it one last shot. I had to go away for work, which was great because I had some space. There was space for me. So I went away with my work, and during this time, my goodness, my team, and some of them are in this group too, still with me, were extraordinary. I would have been, when I look back, and I just think my leadership would have been so, shall we say, mediocre. Can we land there? Rather than terrible, can we land on mediocre? my leadership wouldn't have been great during this time, and my team were extraordinarily supportive. They led themselves. I was absent. I was physically absent. Then I was mentally absent. My boss was extraordinary. The organisation I worked for were amazing. So if you have a team, if you lead a team, if you have your own business, if you run an organisation, think about when someone's going through something personally traumatic, how you respond to that. Because my team were extraordinary. I need to thank them. If you're watching this and you were part of that team, thank you. So I went away for work, and it gave me some space. The importance of space. We clutter up our lives so much with so many things. Where's your space? Lean into that for a moment, because space is as important as activities. Okay, just want to put that out there for you. So, gave me some space, and it gave me strength. And a conversation I had with a woman who worked for me, I'll never forget it. And something she said just gave me some strength. And I thought, I kind of fell back into that leadership. And for me, leadership is not bossing people around, not telling people what to do. Leadership is you lead from the front. Leaders go first. And I thought, because I had some people in my team, superhumans, they were superstars, straight out of university. They were graduates. I'm 41, they're graduates. They were always, you've got to remember, if you're in a leadership role, people are looking for you to lead. And I thought, they're watching. They wouldn't have been doing it consciously, but I thought they're watching how I navigate this. And maybe even personally as well, not just professionally. So I led myself out of the relationship. And then it was like, okay, and I hadn't given up I owned my own place. And I hadn't given it up. So I think my subconscious, my guides, my spirits, my whatever you want to call it, God, whatever feels good for you, that higher power, something had said to me, don't give up your place. I hadn't even rented it out, right? So it was very easy for me to go back there. So I ended up back at my place. And then this is when I fell into a very deep dark night of the soul. So a dark night of the soul is when we've lost, if you're unsure, you might already know, for those who aren't aware, a dark night of the soul, in simple terms, is, and we can have it in various degrees, we can have it smaller degrees as well, is when your world's shifted and you think it looks different, but it's kind of deeper than an insight, and now my world looks different. It's a dark night of the soul is that door of my life has completely slammed closed and I'm in the dark. I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know my identity. I was in so much grief and so much suffering, and I couldn't see a door. I was just in the dark. I got up, I led myself to the train, I got on the train, I would go to, not wanting to go to work, I would go into work, navigate the day the best way I could, get back on the train, come home, go and sit back in my place on my own, and sometimes have some little breakdowns. Sometimes, okay, just every now and then, but you know, the world felt bleak, and it felt unsafe, and it felt confusing. And I had, we fall into why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And I fell into that, which propels us into victim mode. Now, most of you know what victim mode is. In a nutshell, it's when you'll know if you're in victim mode when you're asking the question, why did this happen to me? Or why did this happen to me again? Or why does this always happen to me? So it's when we have a perception that life happens to us and we have very little control, not this has happened, but I'm an empowered human being. Where do I go from here? What do I do now? Tap into my personal power. I had none of that. So this went on for days, weeks, months. And then I realized that the only person who could lead me out was myself. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, I'm always honest, is I don't remember having that realization. I'd really love to say I can remember the exact time and I can remember where I was, but I can't. It just became apparent that I needed to lead myself out. And I needed to stop reliving it. So we're going to talk more about this when we go into the mind mastery, the day of mind mastery, but I'll just drop it in here for now. So many of us humans, and I can still lapse into this if I'm not conscious, if I don't stay conscious, is we will relive history again and bring it into today. So what do I mean by that? Something happens that we don't enjoy, and life is suffering. Suffering is part of life. Suffering is part of the human existence. So yes, I'm in 6% of happiest people in the world. Does it mean I'm never going to suffer ever again? Absolutely not. I love. Therefore, I'm going to suffer. I've still got a parent here, right? So I love. Therefore, if we take that risk, friends, family, children, something might hurt those people and that hurts us, right? There's still going to be suffering in my future. It's part of the human experience. It's just I will navigate it a whole lot differently than I did back then. Now I have the tools. So I needed to lead myself out. I thought, okay, I've got to stop reliving this every day. And I now understand that because I got up in the morning and thought, I lost my baby, my mum died, I realized that I was in a toxic, unhealthy, terrible relationship for 18 months that left me not myself. And now I have to rebuild myself as well. I have to remember who I am or decide who I am. There's a bit I have to do, but the first thing is I have to stop reliving this every day. And because I knew it wasn't good for me, but I now know, because I'm Janelle of 2022, not Janelle of 2011, I now understand that because we think in pictures, that every time we relive something via thought, or we talk about it, so we relive it by telling someone about it, our mind and our body, not our soul, right, but our mind and our body thinks we're going through it again. Thinks it's happening again in real time because we think in pictures. So two things happen. The emotion, the event ingrains more deeply into your subconscious mind, which means you can bring it up faster. Yay! And it'll be stronger. And then this event that you don't want to relive, you don't want to ever happen again because it was so awful. And then because it comes up in a picture, it'll create the feeling again in your body. Because, hey, here we go again. This is happening again. This is happening today. Again. When it isn't. This doesn't mean we shut down. This doesn't mean we don't talk about it, it means we think about who and how and when we're talking about it. We become conscious of that. Okay. So I decided it was up to me to find a door. Right? It's not even any light, but now I have to find a door. Right? This is up to me. This is up to me. This is up to me. So I'm pausing because I want it to be very, very clear that the next part is for all of us, not the Janelle of 2011 who was broken. Was broken, right? If you're feeling that way now, something has happened in your life and you're feeling that way now, I'm with you. I'm with you. I've got you, right? This is where I was. If you are thinking, nah, life's good. There's just some things. I just want some tools and techniques to bring my next big dream in, to bring my next chapter in, to bring my next adventure in. This is for you. This is for all of us. This is for me. This is for you. This is for all of us, right? So now we're going to move into how you find the door. So you might be wanting to overhaul, like I had to remember who I was. Yes, I had my job. I'm not going to say going well because I wasn't well. I wasn't good. So I was not turning up the best leader I could be. There's no way. They were all leading themselves. They'd all empowered themselves. They were such extraordinary people that they were just getting on with it. I think despite me, not with me or because of my inspirational leadership. It wasn't that. They were just like, despite Janelle having what she's going through right now, we're just going to lead ourselves over here till she figures this out, right? I had extremely good friends who were very, very supportive. So I had that. But then, and my friends were probably getting a bit tired of me reliving it over and over and over and over and over. So I had to move forward now. It was time to move forward, to find the door. Now your door might be, so let's bring it into present time for you. Your door might be, hi Rachel, your door might be a whole life overhaul. That was me. I had to, my health had deteriorated mentally and physically. I needed to sort myself, my leadership out at work. I needed to remember who I was. What do I like to do? What are my hobbies? Because I'd fallen into what he liked to do, his hobbies. I'd really lost sense of who I was in that relationship. How am I going to navigate my family now? Because my mum was very much the leader of the family. What does this mean for us as a family? And we'd all kind of separately gone off to grieve, separately but together, if that makes sense. If you've grieved a family member, you might know what I mean. We've got to come back together as a family. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like? My brother had a baby, like a toddler and a baby, and he's navigating this. So, and he was very close to my mum. So, there was a lot going on family-wise that I wanted to consciously move back into. And so that was my door. Now, your door might be, and if you're happy to let me know, I'd love to know, your door might be a romantic partner. Your door might be a new role. Your door might be starting a business. Your door might be growing my business. Your door might be a new home. Your door might be your health. Your door might be your fitness, right? So your door might be, I want to go on a world adventure. Your door might be part of the great resignation, right? There's this great resignation going on around the world now since COVID. Is that your door? I can see how unfulfilled I actually am at work. Like, what am I doing there? But what do I do now? Is that your door? Okay. So this is where we're going to begin. We're going to begin with vision. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. You're watching this for a reason. You're watching the replay for a reason. You've enrolled in this for a reason. Write it down. What was the inspiration to come here? Right? Don't just be here, be present. Do something with this. No transformation without doing something differently. I don't make the rules. Sorry, I'm just a messenger. And what is your vision? What is your vision? I always have a next vision. I always have a next vision. And then life rearranges itself. I move into it. I sometimes it takes courage, sometimes it takes boldness, sometimes it takes working with someone, sometimes it takes, that can see things I can't see that are going on between my ears. Sometimes it takes sitting back, leaning back, zooming out. Have I zoomed out enough? Can I see something that I couldn't see before? Do I need to zoom out? Am I too immersed in it? So I've always got a vision of the next thing, the next dream, the next desire, and then this is the key, becoming the person who can create it. So often when we think about personal development, we go to, I'm going to have to do more, right? Someone's going to throw a heap of stuff on my plate. I'm not doing enough. I'm going to have to do more to get more, right? I'm going to do more. And then that means I'll be able to get more. And then that means I'll be able to get this thing. I'll be able to reach this goal. I don't see it that way. I see it as, if I want to open a new door, I have to know which door to choose, right? Does that make sense? I have to know, is it the travel door? Is it the career door? Is it the health door? Is it the love door, right? Then once we open okay, so I'm clear on that. Or is it the door of life? I want to upgrade so many areas. I'm really excited to do it. Okay, well then that's a different door. And then once we get through that door, okay, because that's the very first step, is just knowing. Zoom out. Which area of my life do I want to upgrade in? And where am I going to send my energy? I'm going to talk about energy tomorrow. Where am I going to send my energy? So think about the area of your life. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit and slow myself down a bit. If you've done this type of work before and there's a few things in your life you want to overhaul, yep, let's dive in. Write them all down. Let's dive in. If this is your first time, if you've never done this type of work with me before, this is the first time you've joined us, yay, you're in the right place. Thanks for being here. Choose one. For the next 5 days, choose one area of your life that you would like to level up in and work through. Just stay in that area for the next 5 days to learn the tools and techniques. Because the beauty of coaching tools and techniques is they'll work anywhere. Love it. They will work in any area for as long as you want them to. As long as you want to use them, you can use them over and over. You're going to have these forever, for life. Yay! So choose one or two, whatever area, Z, and tonight or today, till I see you tomorrow, I'm trying to think of okay, there's so many ways to do this. Feel into or move into that vision. So sit down and maybe even close your eyes. Some people are really good at this when they close their eyes. So I'm going to choose career, okay, just for this example. I want to move into a leadership role. Okay, all right. Well, what would that look like? What industry would it be in? Which part of the industry, as in marketing, finance, people and culture, technology? Which area would that be in? What type of people, what's the role? Can you write a position description? Are you that clear on it? Director of, vice president of, manager of. What would you be doing in the role? If it was the perfect role for you, you saw this role online, you saw this role on LinkedIn and you thought, this is me. This is exactly the role I'm looking for. I've seen people create their own roles, and they've appeared. What does it look like? Who are the people you're leading? How big is the team? Is it 300? Is it 5? What will be the vision of the team? What will be the role of the team? How will you lead them? What type of leader do you desire to be? Really immerse yourself. If it's health, why do I want to be healthier, and what would that feel like? What would I be able to do that I can't do right now? What activities would I be able to immerse myself in? Are there friends that you currently can't participate in activities with because of a fitness level that then you could? Or is it just about, I just don't want to be in pain anymore. I want to be pain-free. How would that feel? What would that mean? So think about your area and then lean into that vision and let yourself dream. Let yourself dream. So often we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned through our lives by various means to not step outside our station, to not stand too tall, to not get too big for our boots, to not, those things aren't for us. No, you'll never be able to do that. I've actually worked with a client on this. She was told once by a mentor, professional mentor, you'll be a really good 2IC. You'll be a really good second in command. We changed that. We changed that quickly. And because of these messages that we've received throughout our lives, we tend to hold ourselves back. The other way we hold ourselves back is we're told we should be grateful. We should be grateful for what we have. You should be grateful you have a job. You should be grateful you have a friend. You should be grateful that you're in a relationship, even if it's not very good. You should be grateful ... Gratitude is a huge emotion, and it's a powerful emotion. It's right up, if you want to do emotional scale. I don't think we're going to talk about it in this masterclass, but I'll just touch on it briefly. There is a scale of emotion, and scientists have measured the power. They can measure emotions that emit from our body because we're made of energy. And gratitude is up there with one of the most powerful. Yeah, it's a huge emotion. And it feels good to feel grateful, doesn't it? You know, when you feel truly grateful for something, it just feels amazing. So yes, we want to feel grateful for what we have. But we also are allowed to desire. Desire is also part of the human experience. I'm so grateful for what I have right now, and I'm going to be so grateful when my next desire unfolds in my reality. That's how I use gratitude. You're allowed to desire. It's part of your human experience. So think about what you desire. Think about what that will look like, smell like, taste like. Get right into it. Pretend you're there. What can you hear? What can you see? Who's there? What can you touch? How does it feel? What kind of emotion does it raise in you? Have fun with this. Have fun with this. Now, I am going to give away a prize today of my book, and I'm going to send it to Sarah because she was first on today. And I hope I pronounce your name right, Sarah. Sarah Tecklenburg. I hope I got that right. I am going to send a book your way. So can you please private message me your address? And I am going to send you a signed copy of Become Extraordinary, the book, so you can have these tools and techniques sitting on your shelf forever. Thank you so much for being here today. Dive into the homework. If you're going to be here, be the best version of you that you can be while you're here. And we will recommence tomorrow. Mwah. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching the replay. If you did, let me know, #replay, because we don't want you to miss out on any prizes either. And I'll see you tomorrow.